Imagine spending a fortune on a ticket. Finally boarding a train that races at 603 kilometers per hour, so fast it devours nearly 170 meters every second. Longer than a mini soccer field. You expect Japan's scenery to glide past like a cinematic ribbon. Mount Fuji appearing in the distance, small towns flashing by. A movie playing outside your window. The train accelerates. 300 km/h. 400 km/h. Ba. 500 km. Your heartbeat climbs with it. And just when it reaches holy speed territory, you look outside and see nothing but gray concrete. No mountains. No ocean. No rice fields. Just a tunnel. Welcome to the reality of the SC Maglev, the fastest train on Earth that spends most of its time underground. And here's the real question. Why build the fastest vehicle in the world? Only to bury it. The numbers are almost unsettling. About 86% of the Tokyo-Nagoya route will run through tunnels. 86%. That means for every 10 minutes you sit on the train, nearly 9 are spent staring at concrete walls. It sounds like a design joke. But physics doesn't joke. At 600 kilometers, every curve must be incredibly gentle. Take a sharp turn like you're driving through a mountain pass. And centrifugal force would press passengers into their seats with uncomfortable intensity. Want tighter turns but still smooth? You have to slow down. Slow down. And the whole point of a super-fast train disappears. And Japan, it's mostly mountains. About 70% of the country is mountainous terrain. If engineers tried to weave around hills and valleys, the route would become longer, more twisted, and the top speed would shrink into nothing more than marketing hype. So the engineers looked at the map and gave a very cold answer. Mountains drill through them. To keep the track nearly straight, the single most important condition for extreme speed, they had to go underground. Not because they wanted mystery, but because geography left no other option. And that's only part of the story. At 600 kilometers, noise stops being just loud. It turns into a physical phenomenon called a pressure wave. When the train enters a tunnel, the air in front of it compresses like a giant spring. If the design isn't precise, you get a loud boom when the train bursts out the other side, like an air rifle firing across a valley. Japan already faced this problem with earlier Shinkansen trains, which produced small sonic booms when entering tunnels at high speed. With the SC Maglev moving even faster, the risk becomes far greater. The solution: stretch the nose of the train like a swordfish to soften the shock wave. Build tunnels long enough, smooth enough, and sealed enough to control the airflow. Running above ground would also mean exposing nearby communities to relentless noise. In a densely populated country where nearly every meter of land is inhabited, letting a 600 km/h machine roar across the landscape would be a political nightmare. Burying it underground might sound extreme, but sometimes that's the only way technology and society can coexist peacefully. And then you begin to see the bigger picture. The current Tokyo-Nagoya trip takes about 90 minutes on the Shinkansen. The SC Maglev cuts that down to roughly 40 minutes. 50 minutes vanish, not 5, not 10, but nearly an hour erased from the map. Imagine living in Nagoya while working in Tokyo. Before, those cities felt separated by rhythm and lifestyle. Now they almost share the same morning. When travel time is cut in half, the meaning of far and near changes. Economic maps shrink. Labor markets expand. Companies can hire people hundreds of kilometers away and still treat them as local. The SC Maglev isn't just transportation. It's a tool that redefines space itself. You might think you're sitting inside a dull gray tunnel, but in reality, you're witnessing humanity bending geography. And that brings the paradox full circle. To go the fastest, the train must travel straight. To stay straight in a country full of mountains, it must go underground. To avoid disturbing millions of people above ground, it has to remain hidden. A super-fast train, buried alive by its own ambition. Funny, isn't it? You pay expecting a scenic ride, and what you get is concrete. But in return, you're buying time. Maybe that's the real product the SC Maglev sells. Not the view, not the spectacle, but 50 minutes of life given back to you. One last question for you. If the distance between two cities shrinks to half an hour, where would you choose to live? And as technology continues to pull urban centers closer together, could the entire Kanto region one day feel like a single massive neighborhood? Perhaps next time we'll talk about how this supertrain doesn't just change transportation, it changes how people choose where to love, work, and build their future. And by then, the gray walls of a tunnel might not feel so boring after all.